Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to World of Tanks. I have just done something which I have wanted to do for quite a while now, but I won't spoil it until the end of the video. Let's just say I had to use the RU-251 in order to accomplish what I was aiming for. And basically I had to do 5,000 combined spotting and actual damage done. And we're back on our favourite map. Curse this bloody map! Prokhorovka. And that T-54 lightweight on my left has done the exact wrong thing and gone to the bush on my left and started firing. Whereas I've gone to the right hand side and spotted this M46 pattern, and I know there's an RU-251 in that bush on the left and probably some other vehicles behind him too. And as you can see, going in these bushes you're covered from behind, in front and the sides. And I haven't noticed it yet, but there's an M41 Walker Bulldog. There he is. Pull the hell back. Do not want to fire because I would be spotted at that range. And he's going to spot me now. Quickly fire. Oh, lovely ammo rack damage. 556 damage done. We get hit for 430 damage though by the M46. He's obviously using the 105mm gun, fully upgraded. So we go back and double back round. We should be unspotted now, and we're going to head back up to that bush. The RU-251, if you haven't got one of these by the way, is a very, very capable tier 8 light tank, and it's probably my favourite tier 8 light tank that I have played. Have owned, or do own rather, and have played. There's obviously the T-54 lightweight, and the AMX 1390, and the T-49. Our RU-251 is on very perilously low health, and I'm just thinking to myself, kill him, just kill him, please kill him, hurry up, there we go. Centurion takes him out, and look, there's 3 more other targets that's just appeared. Now you may be thinking, why am I not firing? If I fire, I will be spotted, and the RU-251 does not have the best armor in the world. It only has, I believe, 20mm on the front of the turret and hull, on the sides as well, and a measly 8 on the rear. A little more than that of a car, or a lorry. So basically, if I fire, I'll be dead. However, I have my binoculars activated, I've got my view range to the max. As you can see, the blue circle on the minimap to the right there. And I'm spotting these enemies, the Centurion 7-1, the Tortoise, the Conqueror. And if I fired, I wouldn't be able to do that. So it's something you have to learn in these light tank games is remember, do not fire, have patience, let everyone else shoot for you. That's your job as a light tank in these sort of scenarios where you have large open swathes of ground and little cover to do active spotting, such as this sodding Prokhorovka map, which I keep damn playing. And it's not me who wants to play the map, it's just the matchmaker going, so do you want to play, I don't know, any other map in the game? Nope. Okay, I didn't think so. We're just going to put you on Prokhorovka or Fiery Salient. I don't know, what is your favourite map in the game, guys? I have to have a little think about that. I think Redshire is quite a good map, especially after the changes. I also like Kharkov, the city map. I like Himmelsdorf, of course, it's a classic map, which hasn't really changed too much since when I started playing. Way back in the eons of time. I believe I started playing in about patch 7.3, 7.4. So, before all the nice shiny graphic updates, before all the tier 10 artilleries, before all the tier 10 tank destroyers and mediums. I remember when the E100 came in, and I was in my Tiger 2, and I saw one of those for the first time, and I thought, oh, well, this is going to be good, and I died instantaneously. But enough of me remembering the past of the game. we're going to move forward in the RU-251. You can see we just go at a blistering pace. 60 kilometers an hour. Very quickly on uneven, rough terrain. M46 from earlier, taken out by the Jagdtiger. Conqueror. I'm not actually spotting these two, I don't think. And that shot on the Conqueror was very bad. I was aiming for the track, but it deviated to the left and hit him in the turret. Centurion 7-1 using the 20-pounder gun. More of a priority to take out right now, so I pull back behind the bushes, keep him spotted, wait for the incoming fire, and that's what we're talking about. And there he goes. I'm wondering if that Conqueror's going to be there still, and I don't really want to go out into the open just yet. Because as we know, Conquerors have very big guns with good DPM. But, you know, we're not going to get anything done sitting there for too long. So we do move on out. We've only done only 556 damage this entire game of our own. With a very nice ammo rack. Thought I would have spotted the Conqueror by now, so I double back around again and move forward. Enemy IS-3 drowned. I didn't notice that when I was playing, to be honest. Oh, there's the Conqueror, and here's where I make an error. I'm in the middle of the open, I'm perfectly stealthed right now, until I fire. Now I'm spotted, there's a T-95 and a very nasty ISU-152 who nearly kills me then and there. I was on 770 health, I am now on 2 health. Those ISU-152s with the BL-10 troll cannon. Very nasty gun indeed. But it's just the T-95 and the ISU-152 left. We break contact, the ISU-152 stealth, the T-95 is still in the same place. Can't blame him really, he is a T-95 after all. Gotta be careful here, I'm thinking right now, don't fire. Especially because the ISU's moved up there. And we're only on 2% health. They just have to sneeze on me and I'm dead. So we keep switching back and forth just to make sure these guys are lit up. They are lit up by other people anyway. And I'm perfectly sure I'm pretty safe now because he's distracted. And he goes down. 779 damage done. Doesn't look too good, does it? Let's take a look at the post-game stats. So here we are, as I've dubiously called it, how to spot. Sort of. We got a second class, not an ace or a first class, which is somewhat surprising, but you know, we only did 780 damage, so again, now I think about it, it isn't as surprising. But we did get a spotter ribbon, and we got the demolition expert for killing that M41 Walker Bulldog with a single shot to the ammo rack. Additionally, 50,000 credits and 1600 experience. Not a times win. I always say that, don't I? And not a times 2 first win of the day. We also got this nice patrol duty medal, which is awarded to the player who helps the team damage. Helps the team damage? Wow, I really need to read properly, don't I? Awarded to the player who helps the team damage at least 6 enemy vehicles by highlighting them. And they must only be highlighted by myself when they are damaged. As you can see, we caused all this assistance damage on all of these different vehicles and only killed 1, and did some damage to the Conqueror as well. Team score. Came top on experience earned, not by much, only by 5. Being this E75, it did 3,000 damage. And this Centurion 7-1 did very well as well. But this is what surprised me the most. So, remember I told you I needed 5,000 spotting damage and my own damage combined to complete this mission. Well, I did 6,257 spotting damage on its own. And just a bit of icing on the cake with 779 damage of my own to add to the pile. So I believe I could do a bit of number crunching, but I believe that's over 7,000 total damage done. You can see we got penetrated, well, hit twice and penetrated twice. One by the BL-10 troll cannon, and one by the M46's 105. So the battle lasted around 8 minutes. We didn't spend too much on ammunition, as you can see. We only fired 6 shots, and 4 of them didn't do anything, and 2 of them missed out of those 4. And you can see a breakdown of my experience and credit earnings and blah 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 blah. But let's take a look back in the garage to see what I was getting excited about. So here we go in the garage again. If we go have a look at the missions at the top left, you can see we have the Stug 4 complete, and now we have the T28 concept complete, which means we can move on to the T55A. And then eventually, if I'm good enough, we can try and get the Object 260, which is very, very, very unlikely, because as you know, I am not God, and I cannot complete everything. But completing the T28 means several things. Firstly, we get we got all of these nice rewards down here, but more importantly, we got 4 crew members for a tank of our choice, 4 female crew members. Of course, I haven't done any of the artillery missions, so there are 2 members of artillery from the artillery missions which I can get, and if I do ever get to these 2, I might be able to get 4 more crew members into another tank just from artillery. So after looking at that, I got my 4 new crew members into the AMX Chasseur de Char. And you may be thinking, why have I done this? Because A, it's a premium tank, and B, you might not like French mediums, but I quite like French mediums. I like this tank. I got it on sale recently, and it's very good. The gun is exceptional. I was playing it on like a 75% crew, so the tank I knew could be much better. So I put in this really, really nicely trained crew now, because you get this Sisterhood of Steel, brothers in arms basically, for these 4 female crew members, as well as another fully 100%ed crew skill. So I went for 6 cents and 3 lots of repairs, and now I'm on my 3rd crew skill. But I thought I'd train a crew in the AMX CDC, because I want to eventually get a AMX 30 and then an AMX 30B, and I'll be able to do that by going through the AMX 1390. But as you know, the AMX 1390 only has 3 crew members, and that will have to go into the Lorraine as well as the Batchat 25T. So I thought I'd put my 4 female crew members in here, so when I eventually get an AMX 30 prototype and then the AMX 30 prototype, AMX 30B, I'll be able to put these 4 in there. So that's great. Another thing, we got ourselves the T28 concept, and I have played a couple of games in it, and it's not bad. I am surprised. Of course, there are glaring weaknesses to it, but I won't expose them just yet. Perhaps a tank review will be coming later. Is anyone interested in seeing a tank review of the T28? Please put a comment down below. I quite like the vehicle, as I say, but I've only played a few games and I haven't had artillery in them, so perhaps artillery will ruin my day once I play in the T28 concept again when they're in the battle. Of course, I don't actually have proper equipment with it as well. Lastly, the T55A missions are excellent in terms of the amount of stuff you get for it. Look at this, for instance, heavy tanks. Heavy tank debut, destroy 3 vehicles and cause 3,000 damage. If you destroy 3 vehicles, you get 200,000 credits. Imagine that, being on a non-premium account, getting 200,000 credits just straight off the bat like that. And then 100,000 more if you do 3,000 damage minimum. And this is the same for the first 4 missions of each set. And then when you get to the bottom, you get the crew member, of course, and 250,000 as a bonus. And then throughout, you get premium time and free experience and all kinds of manner of good things. And obviously, the Object 260 is going to be even better in terms of the amount of credits you can earn from those missions. But of course, they're going to be substantially harder. So, that was my final mission that I needed to do to get this T-28 concept. And that was the Light Tank Mission 15. As you can see here, I haven't completed all of them with honours, I don't care. Not very good with light tanks, but as you can see here, total damage caused and damage caused by allies upon spotting or destroying tracks must exceed must be at least 5,000 or exceed that. And there you go. Mission complete. Let's move on to the T-55A, and maybe in the future I'll even get one of those. So, two things. One, do you want to see a T-28 concept video in the future? Perhaps a review, perhaps just some gameplay. And secondly, I hope you enjoyed my game in the RU-251, showing you some good bush locations if you don't know where they are on Prokhorovka. If you're a newer player or if you are struggling in your light tanks. I mean, myself, I'm not a brilliant light tank driver, but I know where a good bush is some of the time. As always, I've been Geogen, this has been World of Tanks, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.